the Respecting Perspectives podcast is here for you, and I hope that in the future this can be something that can inspire you to and help you in turn again help other people in making music. And you have been really influential in my life, and I may not have been able to be at like all the things, but I saw you, dude, and I really respect the action that you take in your life. And tell the RPP fam who you are, and where you're from, and a little about yourself.
Great. Well, thanks for bringing me on the podcast, and thanks for giving me space to kind of talk through a lot of the, I think changes and insights I've gotten in my life as a result of a lot of times great pain. After great pain, a formal feeling comes. I might quote some poetry because I went to school for English, and I really loved it. So what am I? Who is this cat?
Who's this cat?
All right, so I can say right now that I'm over 40 for sure, and I'm living in Baltimore and I have two bands, one that's getting off their ground, and one that's we've played for like 3 years. We're cutting a EP soon.
Nice.
And sort of I'm kind of enjoying a renaissance of my art, where I'm doing a lot more art. I'm actually going to be doing a collaborative painting tomorrow at Patterson Park. I'm doing for one of the local bands.
Awesome.
It's at TellerFest, so it's going to be it's going to be dope.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, for sure. And so, but who I am is an amalgam of all the things I've ever seen and experienced, right?
Amalgam. Love that word.
Right. So like I was like born a hippie child. Went through real poverty, was in foster care. Went through a little period of drug addiction. The cocaine was huge in the 80s. When I was growing up, it got a lot of people. Then I kind of found my way by joining the military. I stayed in there for quite a long time, active for a little while, and then in the Guard for a good long time.
Gotcha.
So
thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, it was my pleasure, and I learned so much, and really helped. I hoped to just, except for right at the end, exemplify all the good things that a soldier can be, and also not like beat it on your head or wear it too hard.
It's got to be a challenge.
Some people, no, it wasn't, because some people will wear the retired. I go to VA for my health care, right? It's great. It's great, by the way. Shout out to VA. And there's a lot of cats over there that have all their crazy hats on, and it's like they're showing it everywhere they go. Like, I was in the war. Like, some people who know me don't even know that about me at all. They're like, you were military, you were an officer, you were a commander, you did all that crazy shit, and you were in wars. Like, yeah, and that was part of my life, and like I kind of transformed after that phase of my life. It was an interesting sort of bridge. I took a year after I got out of full-time service, and I did really kind of nothing. I worked on a novel. I learned a little bit how to play the didgeridoo.
Oh, there you go.
Not too much. I can't do it now, so it sucks. I have to get back into the groove. It's not easy to do.
Don't practice, right?
Dude, it's not easy to do. But I started skateboarding in parking garages. There was a group of us, of the Baltimore garage skaters.
Skater cats.
Oh, so much fun. And in fact,
simpler times, right?
Yeah.
Right?
In fact, I have a little story. So while we were doing this, we're at Wednesday night. We'd go out for like 9:30.
Oh, you're taking me there. All right,
it's
Wednesday night.
It's Wednesday night. We're all meeting up at Parking Garage over here in downtown.
All right, meet me at the
There's
spot.
like 8 of us. We'll meet up, and we all go to the top of the parking garage. There's no cars in there, and they Zamboni those things. They're super clean.
Zamboni.
So and there's an elevator. So it's an endless hill.
It's
So we'll usually skate 2 or
dude,
3 garages in a night. Go from
that's
one,
genius.
skate it, go to another, skate it. It's so
there
great.
you go.
So I finally get a job. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I took that year off. I can't live forever without a job. So I get a job. And I happen to be helping this cat that's upstairs, one of the execs. And I said, you know, he's like, oh, I'm trying to teach I saw you skateboard because I skateboard down the hill. My job, there's a hill in front of the job.
Right.
And they're
He
like,
peeped you.
who is this crazy
fell-
dude
fall
on
a
a
few times,
long...
got
No,
up.
I never fall.
No.
No, I longboard. Yeah, that's not... You don't have time for it.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
going
you
to get
can't
hurt.
fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
you can't.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Damn.
I love it when
Okay,
people tell
okay.
me to do an ollie, by the way. Yeah, I'm on an electric longboard, and they want me to do an ollie. I flip them off immediately. But so he said, yeah, I'm trying to teach my kid to skateboard. I said, oh, yeah, it's not just like down this hill. I said, we go at night in parking garages, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. He's like, really? Wow. He said, yeah, let me test my phone, because I was helping him fix up his iPhone. He gave me a
Okay.
number, so he called me, right? So I get a call from Lene O'Neill. Lene O'Neill, like the award-winning reporter from the Washington Post, internationally.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Internationally,
The name sounds.
she's a big deal reporter, and she's at the cusp of her career. She's really great.
Okay.
She's doing well.
Someone you
She
support.
I had no idea who she was. She called me up, and she said, "Well, I'm Lene from the Washington Post. My husband told me a story today about skating in parking garages, and I kind of couldn't believe him. And so, can you? What is this? What is this? Tell me the story." So I spit poetry to her about it, because it's a wonderful
what you
thing
do.
to do, you know. And she's like kind of a tell me more thing. She says, well, when's the next time you're doing this? Like, it's Wednesday night. Well, I said, give me the address. I'd like to come out. So she comes out and she brings a photographer.
Uh-huh.
And I brought a bike for her so that she could flow with us.
Oh, nice.
And we took her to 3 garages, and she came back another night. She came out 2 nights, and then another night when we were in Towson, she sent a videographer out.
What?
And filmed
that
us,
means
right?
you're dedicated to like your craft. That's cool.
So this girl did all this. So then one day we're like, what happened? I don't know. All my friends like,
Yeah, where'd the story go?
What happened, right? It's like 2 months later or something, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a Tuesday, and we get the Washington Post, and one of my friends says, dude, you got to see the front page of the Washington Post.
Nuh-uh.
Right? No, above the fold on the front page of the Washington Post is a picture of one of my friends, famous photographer, I can't remember his name right now, going down the corkscrew. It's all downhill from here, it says.
Okay.
It's a beautiful picture. And it leads into the cover page of the style section.
Oh,
So
shoot.
there's a cover page of the style section. It's like 3 pictures and a big leading paragraph for the main article, which still isn't there. Then you open up, and then across from the comics, the whole full page article, and there's 3 photos and all this crazy material.
That
right?
is
It's like the
so
biggest.
cool.
I have never seen it. The photographer said that was the biggest orgy of like they gave me, and then online they give them like 15 photos online. We had 15 photos online and video online.
Yeah.
It was they treat us like kings.
That's the story waiting to happen, right? There's stories out there just waiting to happen, man. That's wild, man. I'm glad you could be a part of one like that.
Yeah. What was cool is the thing we actually did, you know. But
Yeah.
what I thought was is just the thing that we did. That's what we do. What was interesting was her response to show everyone this cool thing we do.
Right? Share the
shared it with the
experience
world.
a bunch of people who wouldn't maybe normally have been with each other, you know. And you can bring like bikes and like all these other crazy things that are just
And
like
people are sleeping and watching some stupid show.
yeah, sitting in get over here. No, so you know what? So while I have you here, man, I mean, there's really, you know, so much that you know we can talk about, but I want to give you the baton, and you know, are there any things that you want to kind of bring or shed any light on right now that you feel is important, you know, for people to either information, like for people to know, or like maybe like a hardship or something that you've been through that you can, you know, help someone understand, like a particular emotion or whatnot. Yeah, is there anything that you can bring to the forefront?
You know, it's a great question. Because it lets me kind of range free into what's actually meaningful now.
Yeah.
because I mean, if you think about the way the world is and how hard it is to be a young person, right? I've had a really great life, done a lot of incredible stuff, but the world was not as sort of tippy, not as extreme, and not as intense. Everything moves at triple speed, and then the speed gets tripled, and then like it keeps doing that. It's been doing that my whole life, and it's gonna do it your whole life. It's gonna do it your whole life, man. It's gonna be a roller coaster of change that you have to adapt to, and each phase of your life, you're kind of in that phase, and so you're paying attention to that phase. I just can't imagine being like 18 years old right now and kind of looking at the world and deciding, well, what am I going to do, you know?
Right.
That's why I picked up another protege, because it's super important to take somebody who is young and smart and
Love that.
and has drive and say, I learned all this stuff.
Yeah.
Let me show you a couple of these things.
Yeah.
Like,
check out these gems.
like here I know this wizard way to make paintings that I can have the crowd make the painting.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm
cool.
I'm teaching Josh how to do it, and a dear friend of
Josh
mine.
who? What's his name?
What's fucking
What's he
his
go?
last
He,
name?
Push Jones.
He has
Push
he's
Jones.
Push Jones.
P-U-S-S-J-O-N-E-S.
I
Go
don't-
check him
I,
out.
I don't
He's a
I don't
really
I don't
close
want to blow
homie.
up his last name on the podcast.
He's actually going to be on the podcast sometime soon.
Yeah,
so,
he's a fantastic cat.
So
He'll
they'll
tell
be able to catch up with him at some point.
he'll tell you a little bit about what we're
Nice.
doing.
Nice plug.
But yeah, so the point I took right with I was just saying, Tristan, my first like really incredible helper, taking the art that I was doing, which was all by hand routing, and really taking it to the next level and learning how to Illustrator, CNC, and going through the classes and making it happen. I think what I would the thing that I would say, this is the best piece of wisdom I know just about.
Drop it.
Most people are stuck in a loop,
Tell him.
and they're bound by their limiting beliefs. When you realize that you can do whatever you want tomorrow, and anything that seems impossible to you, it's not that take the first step, like some kind of a thing, but you can try shit that you would never think was possible to try. Like, I started doing art at 47 years old. Okay.
Wow, dude.
Have you done any art yet? How young are you, sir?
I am 38 years old.
So you could
Years
take
young.
another 9 years off of doing art. Don't even do any art.
Don't
Then you
even
can just,
do
at
any.
47, well, let me see. How do you do art? And then, how could I do it? Like, my art is unique because it's the way I do it.
Yeah,
Everyone's
for sure.
art, you know how people have this unique
niche
brush
or
stroke?
yeah.
No, they have a look to their art, you know?
for sure.
If I look at Will Shanklin's art, he blows me away.
dog.
He's so
Woo!
fantastic, the local
man.
Baltimore artist. And I look at, there's so many,
Harrison.
yeah, and Harris, I mean, it's
Gotta- we
also
gotta-
great.
we gotta-
And
Who else?
Renee,
Oh,
and
Renee. Love
all the art monkeys. I'm having such a hard time remembering everybody's name. I'm so
Justin.
terrible at names.
Nice.
But the point is, everybody has their own little certain touch,
Yeah.
and the thing I think, if we can talk about me for 1 second, is that makes me unique.
Yeah. What makes
Is-
you unique?
Is that I almost can't. I love making other people happy, and I love getting people past their barriers. I've
cool.
been doing it. I've been doing it in different ways because it just seems the most gratifying thing you can do for somebody, you know. And,
Making
and
somebody else feel good, right?
let them find their edge. I started this improvisational jam collective in my house called Four Flights about 7 years ago, and
It was a staple in Baltimore, for sure. You should be extremely proud of that. We
We did we did a few events, over the 5 years. We did about 24 out events, which was great, and over 200 at the house. But it was the
Always
out
something.
ones. The out ones were so great, like Woodland. Man, all right, I'll tell you the story. We got challenged to. A friend of mine asked me if he had the whole lineup.
A duel.
No, he had the whole lineup of Woodland, but he didn't really have an opening act, right? So there was a 1:30. That's a two. It was a 1 to 2. 1 to 2:30 was open.
Okay.
1 to 2:30.
Well, that's a nice little spot.
He said, "Can 4 flights do it?" And we had been running about 8 months, and people were coming over, regular people. The community was building. We had a lot of momentum. It was before all the carjackings and all that stuff.
No, dude,
right?
there was a time. I know. Yeah, I mean,
You know
you
what I'm talking
really
about.
had some nice momentum with that. It was cool to see on Facebook. You were seeing it on Facebook.
Yeah,
and
we were
it was
doing
all over.
a thing.
Yeah.
So what's so great is. So we made. So I decided that we could take that time, and we made 4 bands, and each band got 15 minutes, right? Or 15,
Oh, okay.
and then you have to build in that other last 15, 20 minutes for transitions between all the bands.
Of course.
Right? And we ended up having a sound check band that was full of the extra funky crazies.
Oh,
they're so dope. The sound check was beyond dope. It was like all of a sudden there's this raging jam going on. Like, wow.
Right,
I think we
where'd
had
they come
Steve-O.
from?
I think Steve-O was on the drums. Joey 2Gs was on guitar.
Dude.
I think we had Frankie on the bass.
Oh.
Like, it was crazy. They just
And you
went.
wouldn't normally,
They were they warmed the stage up. They weren't even one of the bands.
You know what? Let's make a shout out to Matthew Grube and the Rhythm Royale that he has right now. It
thing.
actually occurs in the Watermelon Room here, and man, it's where it's the musical version of Kill Tony. I think that's the vibe. He's going
Whose line
for.
is it anyway? Or
Whose
something.
line is it anyway? Yep, and different. There's a few wheels, and we pick. Each instrument has its own wheel, and that's how your band is made. And man, you got everything from keyboard to a few guitars, some bass,
Sometimes a
percussion.
saxophone or a harmonica, something like that.
Yeah, you get
percussion.
so many different people that wouldn't normally play together, but they're up on this stage. So
Hold on, and
gotta
then they do something.
Who's the producer of this show?
Yeah, Matt, you're the boss.
Boss.
And
Both.
then they do this crazy thing where they take AWOL and me, and they make us make up a song.
Oh, yeah.
They give us the
theme.
key. They give us the key
A
of the
key.
song for the musicians, the style of the song,
Style.
and then it's the what the song is about.
Yup.
Right,
We make,
and then
we make
what
crazy
and then
scenarios.
how you feel. Yeah, right. When you
And
come in,
what emotion.
yeah. When you
attached.
come in, they ask you. Matt asks everyone. Some people give several. Matt asks everyone to say, "Give me a scenario."
Yep.
So that's what ends up on the wheel. So you make up a song on the spot.
On the spot.
It is such a fun. Oh
You
man,
know, the
it's
whole
beyond fun.
freestyle. Let me tell you, when I was younger, freestyling was the thing that helped me stay connected with lots of different people and settings. Let me ask you. I mean, I know we were talking about poetry, and you really do have a poetic side to you. And where does that come from, man? Like where
that's
do you
great.
feel like the poet in you either comes from, or where does it lie? Like, how can you put some description to it?
I think so. My mother was an avid reader and read to us as a child. I read to my daughter as a child. I have 2 beautiful kids, a daughter, and son, and 3 grandkids.
That's beautiful.
And I can't be more surrounded by love. What we just saying, I just see them in my mind's eye.
No, it's okay. Good, take it where you want to, man. I really was kind of just where being a poet, you really have, I know you're probably writing something in the back of your head right now.
I have to say it's my mother being really excuse me, my mother being really dedicated to making language a priority in our lives, and even though I had like that broken childhood thing, I had a great foundation, and
You can tell.
and kind of and I had a natural ability with language. Was always easy for me. Language arts were always easy for me. So I think it was, once I decided, once I was I went to school. There's a lot of complicated life in there. I'm not going to get into it, but
Of course. Always is.
and I ended up getting my English degree because it was the best thing I could pick. That was just pure wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Only philosophy could hold a card to it, but philosophy isn't. And physics. I love microbiology and chemistry and physics and anthropology, and I love so many scientific disciplines. They're just so rife with great truths.
I like the way you said that.
But poetry has been sort of like when I first came to Baltimore. I went to Zelda's Inferno, and it was a weekly poetry gathering. I got to meet Alice and
cool.
Tom and some people that are staples in my life in Baltimore to this day, burners, and I mean, I think I took such a long road from there to running karaoke.
Right.
To
Think about
running,
everything that led up to that too.
To running the 4 flights, and really improving in 4 flights, improvisational live lyric.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was a bridge from all the song lyrics that I memorized and all the poetry that I've memorized.
And did you memorize this poetry or these words, for a particular reason, or
Yes.
or was it what were you trying to achieve when storing those those things?
All right, so this is another piece of wisdom that y'all can take with you forever, and I don't mean to be swaggy about that, but there's certain things that you can do that help your whole life.
Get swaggy.
Exquisite mental jewelry. Okay.
Exquisite mental jewelry.
If you go deep into a topic, and you find like and you know it, you can recite it. You're conversant with it at a high degree. It's basically a movement toward mastery. Once you have the framework for mastery of a thing, you can adapt that to almost anything else in your life. So, and the other thing is all the things that you put in your head, like all the shows, you can go and quote a show with your buddy and they know the show, right? You can go right like line by line. You can do 100 shows. Those are all lodged in your mind.
Yeah.
They're all
somewhere.
They scintillate, right? One of the things that I used to do was
scintillate. What does scintillate mean?
It means they shine with flickering brightness.
Cool.
Let
Let it shine.
and
That's awesome. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay. It's okay. I took poetry with me everywhere. When I was going down the ice wall, there was a class I took at Winter Mountain Warfare School up in Jericho, Vermont, and you have these claws on your feet, crampons, and zaxes, and climbing up ice walls and stuff. And then we would rappel down, and when I would rappel down, I would recite Shakespeare because I could.
Because you could, right?
And everybody called me Shakespeare.
Extra layer, baby.
Yeah,
You
I
were just-
always like to be. It was
He helped you stay in the moment, maybe.
Yeah,
kinda-
no. I mean, what was very interesting about that whole thing was there was an Irish cat who was about to get thrown out of the army, and somehow they threw him into this class, and he was a real dick, and he was trying to pick on me. He was trying to be mean to me. But the problem was I'm good at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to pick on somebody that's good at stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
you can say,
right.
Well, actually, I'm better at that than you. Actually, you can say what you want, but like you sound like a.
That's
child
how you
bully.
know he's a dick too.
You sound
'cause
like a
when
child
he's
bully. Yeah,
ter-
you
you
don't
know.
have anything. No, I would just cut him. I would just cut him back down.
Mhm.
I'm not. Nobody's gonna give me any shit.
Yeah.
I grew up tough. I grew up in hard circumstances.
Right. You learn how to kind of what to juke.
Yeah. And I used to use my mouth to get me out of everything. So you think you're gonna pin me down with your mouth?
Right.
But anyway, it was so great to bring poetry out to everywhere that I've been. Like
Yeah.
when I go to Burns, sometimes I'll just gift poetry, and you think that's silly, right? Hold on. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like this man, with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark arising from heaven's earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. That's a Shakespeare song. I like to, sometimes I'll there's a lot of different ones. I don't know why that one came up. If it's for a girl, I'll do something very romantic.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in a moment where we're in repast and we're in nature,
Mm-hmm.
I know several that fit that scene perfectly from a variety of poets. So
And let me ask you something. What do you think is able to be communicated, through Shakespeare and even at such a time period that you imagine is so different than right now? Why does it feel like that stuff, was either written for timelessness? Yeah, how do you think that?
it's just this is the mental jewelry bit too, right? The reason that I was always in love with Shakespeare as soon as I figured out how to read it, is that it's the most dense, clear way to say so many things in the most like offhanded way. It's so difficult to say a thing that you like. Poetry, they say. The descriptive writing is just to say exactly what you mean is in the clearest way possible. In poetry, it's just the opposite.
Right.
Right? But it's not true. If you think about this, right? Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Like he dashes away the meaning of life.
So, but how do you think he was able to gather like these experiences that he
was a genius. He could take on a persona, he would just take on a persona and think in that persona. It goes line by line. If you read Shakespeare, it's like different voices. It's all these different voices.
Yeah, you can tell it's coming from different places.
Different people.
Yeah, different.
And it just runs in a row.
Man, let me ask you this. If you could, I'd like for you to give me a little bit more information on, like, 4 Flights Up itself, and where did the inspiration itself, come from to be able to create that community, and allow people to build their inner want for music?
Wow. Good question.
Because you represent a community to me. You really do. No matter how much time is in between, that doesn't.
When we start the new jam at the new space pretty soon, it's going to be weekly again. It's
nice.
I guarantee that.
Do you want to shout any info about it right now?
Well, it's probably the jam chat on 4 Flights. 4 Flights Up is a group on Facebook.
Will you
spell
it out?
number 4.
Number 4.
OUR Flights Up. 4 flights up, and there's a 4 flights family, which is a page, 4 flights up as a group. The group is where it's at.
Okay.
There's under 2,000 members, but they're all local Baltimore. It's just tons and tons and tons of musicians in that group.
OG Baltimore cats.
And we have little jam chats that music information, things that are going on comes
Jam
out.
chat.
Yeah. But
I like that.
aside from, I mean, really, we're going to be trading paint with Matt when he's for Rhythm Royale. We'll be publishing and shouting out and commenting on all the Rhythm Royales.
Tell me a little bit about the meta painting that you've been,
the one that's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah. Give me.
Oh, well, I will tell you how I thought about 4 flights very briefly. Is to say,
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
sorry,
trying. No, I'll tell you about that too. But for 4 flights, I had this. I was trying to find a jam.
Okay.
I was trying to find the jam.
He's looking for a jam,
Where's the jam?
and he can't. It's not even.
couch?
It's not in the.
Look, hold on.
Dude. Jam.
I couldn't find it.
Dude.
So then I saw. Is up there? Then I saw Field of Dreams.
Oh.
No, I didn't. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. No. Then I put.
That's
I
funny.
swear to you, I put this will of want out in the world. I actually threw 3 open mic jams at a place for that I was staying in Sewebo for a little while.
Oh, there you
Tried
go.
to pick that up. It's called the Carriage House. It had a long steady
Shout
history,
out.
right? Got a few things going, but I just didn't know at the time. I didn't know enough people, but they all helped me later on. We'll get to that. But
Okay.
Then I just was willing for it, looking for it, and then I have a friend who's a producer, Rodney Daniel, a great producer.
Shout to Rodney.
And he in the house, Morpheus Studios is in the basement.
Oh, nice.
And also Lord Baltimore recording and Morpheus Studios in the basement.
Okay.
And so they produce so much hip hop there, and a lot of great stuff.
familiar.
And, I mean, a lot of great bands have gone through and just recorded in that room.
Okay.
But
History
for sure. And the Hooper House, is a 4-story mansion that was built by James Hooper, who was a sale guy.
Huh.
And my apartment happened. So the guy who was running the music studio,
Mm-hmm.
he had a beautiful wife, and they were having a baby. And you can't have a baby when you live on the top of a commercial building with lead paint in it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
shoot,
time to
right.
go out the house,
Yeah,
right?
you need to.
So he needed to rent out that
move.
apartment. But it had to be somebody special because the whole building is a commercial building, and that's the only apartment in there, so you could make enough money to support it.
Gotcha.
So, enter me.
Ah.
And he said, "Hey, I got your guy," and I came up and I talked to David, and he seemed, and then when I went there, upstairs was a
Did you
widow's
have a plan for something
No.
like this ahead of time?
Yeah,
like
I was
that?
just I was willing it. I said I was willing it into the world.
Okay.
I was living with my girlfriend at the time, which I don't recommend. But she's a
happens.
lovely.
It
I
happens.
love
It
it. Shout out to
happens.
Tina. I still love you. So
He loves you.
You're
Listen,
a great.
hey, just so you know.
I truly do. I'm never gonna not love Tina.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I never will not. But so I'm living with Tina. But I realized I need to be more rambunctious. See, we were together for a long time after I moved out of her house because she's
believe
a
it.
great woman. But I go there and I check out the place and it's cool. And then I say, well, what's that? And there's a ladder and it goes up and there's a widow's walk on the top of the house. And there's this dome inside the room and you can see this little glass you could see up. And I go up
What?
in there and he has like paint cans and he's using it like an attic.
Oh goodness.
You've been there. right?
Yeah.
It was like he was like a stick stuff up their attic place.
Oh Jesus! No, that's
No.
on, dude. You don't.
So
that's
so
disrespectful.
That
Just
was
to the
disrespectful
spot.
because you saw
to the spot.
to the spot. So then it took about 6-8 months from me living there, having a living room, putting a little few of my musical things. Had a friend come over, play some music. It was like, this is a great spot,
Yeah.
right? And then I had a little studio, and I'm like, well, how does this? And then I met Tristan downstairs at the studio, and Rodney was coming up, a couple other friends, and there was a little bit of momentum. Tom came over, Like I would have a little thing. You can see the very early. It wasn't quite 4 flights up yet.
Okay.
I had to go. I did
You
this.
were at 2 or 3 or something. You know, at that
It was
time.
well. I hadn't named it, and I hadn't realized because I had people. You know what got it named was people complained they had to bring an amp.
Right up.
You cannot say that I didn't know it was 4 flights up to me ever.
Yeah, you can't. No.
It's not possible.
Right? You got to be like, listen, you know what's going on. As soon as you walk in that door, or, you know, that first floor door.
You know you're going to be whatever you're carrying.
You know,
don't be crying.
Honest and upfront.
Yeah, I wanted to just put that out there.
I like it.
So it was quite an interesting thing. I went to do a painting, a 10-foot by 2-foot long painting. 3 different panels says Resolution Revolution. We did it at the 2016 Democratic National Convention, and some at protests at the Philadelphia City Hall.
Oh wow!
So we were on Young Turks and a couple newscasters and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just doing my big collaborative art painting stuff in the middle of this place, and when the 16 election was done and Bernie Sanders got mugged in the night and robbed of delegates, and the wind came out of me. My desire to be active in the American political system just was over.
Yeah.
And so I said, but the thing to do is to act locally. Do something that you know you can leave a footprint. You know you can improve it, right? I would run for office if I gave a shit to. I can't do that. I have too many. I have too many.
Anything you want.
I mean, I used to think I had too many hinky things in my past. There's absolutely no way with the people that have been. Anyway, I could do it if I wanted to.
Put it on the back burner.
Yeah. No, but more, I wanted to. It was local office. That's the thing. Be on the thing that is making something. Think globally, act locally.
You could be able to see it. You know, like you can actually touch the change.
And in fairness, I thought if there are enough musicians coming through here, that not only I could find a band, but the other musicians could find each other. Right. Because I couldn't find the place where other musicians found each other. Where's the place where musicians find each other? They find each other at clubs when they're playing, right? They find each other when they're camping out special at camp out festivals, right? So musicians get to know each other.
The same line.
When you come to Rhythm Royale, when you watch a Rhythm Royale broadcast, you're going to see a host of great Baltimore musicians, everybody from Tom Brady to John Brady rather to just I can't even start listing people from every band from
you don't, because there's so many.
There's so many. I feel remiss. And it's what's great too is that it is a great blend of the people who were part of my community. A lot of the 4 flights up people who were dedicated cyclic jammers, and cats that hadn't actually come through my place because they were playing clubs all the time and doing their thing already, right? And so that's who's on the stage. And so it does really showcase a lot of the growth and expansion of Baltimore music as time's gone by.
Dude, it's a jazzy thing, honestly. It's everyone, and sometimes even if it's like something that you're not like 1,000%, you don't call yourself like a master in like a particular instrument. You don't need to be, that's the fun part. Maybe it's, you kind of feeling out a situation of like if you want to be in a band or not, maybe this will help you kind of figure it out, It's cool to be able to like think about the different possibilities, that we can all, be in. And I think it comes to like respecting perspectives and, like thinking about, each different view from, a particular vantage point. It really makes you think and appreciate your own, for sure, so I appreciate you kind of breaking down that the 4 flights up, but then tell me a little bit about the meta painting.
All right, so
that we were
so one of the things
we brushed up on.
So when I went to my first festival, you know who got me to that festival? Michael Morstein.
Oh yo, Shout out. Michael Morstein actually just did an interview with him.
Franya.
Yes, dude.
Michael
Oh,
Morstein. Shout out to that motherfucker.
dude,
right?
that's awesome.
That's the
Man.
first festival I went to. I went to the woods without army gear. And at that festival, I invented meta painting.
Wow, dude.
There was a
Tell me.
There was
Come
a
on, take
painting leaning against a chair when I came in the front where there was a chair, and it said paint me on it, right? I got there early, sunset on Friday, so I can't get my stuff all camped up, and then you can't ignore beauty, danger, or food. I'm not beautiful or dangerous, so I brought food.
I beg to differ. You're beautifully dangerous, my friend.
And so after it was up 11 o'clock or so, I brought out breakfast for about 20 and had people help me prepare it so we could all eat together.
There
so
you go.
Because that's how you do that.
Right.
And I brought this board out specifically so I could use my cot as a table.
Okay.
But then I had this thought. I was like, well, maybe that painting that's up front. How did you know? It was so decisive. Remember, I was a military guy, right? How do you know where you paint? Why wouldn't everybody just paint on everyone else? Why can't we have just little spots where everybody can paint their own painting?
Yeah, for sure.
So I made literally a grid of squares.
It's a group.
I made a grid of
Gang paint.
squares.
Yeah.
Like a quilt almost. And to this day, every meta painting I ever make has one square on it. Find the square.
Oh, there you go. Easter egg, baby.
I have an Easter egg in every one.
Nice. Find the square.
But find the square. So then I paint one, and I get somebody else to paint one, and I scrabble paint from people, and I'm being even social just that way.
Yeah.
I put a light on it, and I get
Different.
6 people, then 8 people, then 10 people, and it got filled up over the weekend.
Oh, really?
And I got to meet so many interesting people. Like, that was
Love
my
that.
bridge
That's cool,
to get
dude.
to meet new people at this festival. I didn't know anybody.
Dude, I was just at Autumn Revival this past weekend, and let me tell you, they really did it upright, and I'm super appreciative to have those cats, just making moves in particular ways,
Yeah.
But there were a few artists that were doing that had like a painting going throughout the whole weekend, and there were opportunities for everyone and anyone to just come up, paint a little slither of it, and then move on to the next. And I thought that was pretty cool,
So it was that's interesting. It was directed image, so you kind of would do a part of the image as it was happening.
It wasn't, though. That's the one. That's a
go?
piece that you're missing, or that's the piece that I think would be cool to be there if you do have a little bit of a guide, I guess you could say, like, already, and it's kind of like a paint by, numbers almost. It makes it a little bit easier for the person. It warms them up and opens them up a little bit to the painting itself, because I feel like if you're not if you don't consider yourself a creative person,
Okay.
Creating something out of like just a blank canvas is intimidating, for a lot of people, I think.
I like the way you're saying this. Yeah. keep
Know,
going.
but if you put some lines and add some borders and give them a little bit of like a nudge, I think
And give him some paint.
and give them some
and
paint,
give him a light and a
give
little
them
chair.
some direction.
And I'll sometimes I
yeah.
hand him water and smoke a doobie with him.
Yeah.
Like it's
Two,
you're gonna
smoke
get
two.
you're gonna get some deluxe ass treatment at my
Yes,
station.
dude.
Anyway, so
love
I
that.
love how you say it and see it, because it is true that that restriction breeds creativity.
Restriction.
It's very interesting. It seems
creativity. Man,
it seems
I
constraint.
remember hearing about
Constraint,
that
maybe
recently.
constraint is slightly better, right?
Constraint breeds creativity.
Yeah. Like there's certain
I've heard
certain
that.
things.
I read that in like a Rick Rubin book recently that highlighted that, and that said that if something is kind of in a particular, although it's not the majority, there's only like a special percentage.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I keep knocking this mic all around.
No, you're
because
okay. There's a particular percentage, I think, a small percentage of people that will then think outside of the box. But I think, you know, the lower percentage will be okay with the parameters that they have, you know. Right. So
it's box edging, box thinking, or being comfortable, or being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Like when they give us that song title, whenever they said Grubhub messed up your order and you're angry about it, and it's a pop song in A.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like, I had to be now creative, be in the crazy right now. So there's no sort of like.
And I think talking about
that's why we do it. That's why we do it, though. I guarantee that's why you do it.
Yeah.
Because what a thrill it is for you to come up here and be fronting a band on point like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Right.
It's a gift.
So creativity is sometimes the constraints. The song. The reason I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Is because the song frame, just like in my meta paintings, when I make some of the shapes are proscriptive. Like, I'll have a shape.
What does that mean?
That means that it's a very specific thing. In other words, if I make a violin, if I cut out the silhouette of a violin, it's very notably a violin. And that's your shape.
Okay.
So you're doing a violin because that's all the paint spot you got to paint.
Gotcha.
So, and in fact, it's almost like you blew it if you don't base coat or make sure that you do your frame of the violin. So when I pull the tape off from around that violin, that violin's going to disappear.
Unless, cool. Right? Got you.
Because there's nothing there, but it's just a piece of wood.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, except I do a painting underneath. But anyway.
Oh, cool.
So that's why it's called meta painting. Because first I make a painting, and then everybody paints on my painting.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
A painting in a painting is a meta painting, and that's why I named it that way.
Okay, so you actually, your painting is the thing that is the
first
foundation.
The foundation is the painting, and then everybody paints in it.
I love that, man. That's awesome.
They get disappeared. I take a picture of them, and then they get disappeared.
They turn into something
they evolve.
They evolve.
They evolve by sequential relationships.
Ooh. They just grow. It's like they grow feet and just kind of.
And then somebody comes up to me and I say, it is effectively a net that I can drag through a crowd, a burn, artscape, even just on the street in Fells Point. I've done it in a lot of different places, inside a club, at a rave. You could drag the painting through the crowd.
You should document it. Like you need to have some sort of document too. That'd be cool to see it.
To see them come.
See the
transition. I would. Maybe
it's
I
an
can,
extra layer.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing to. I think it deserves to be seen, right?
Yeah,
I agree with you because it is such a. It's like one person at a time. It's live painting wherever you are, right? Sometimes it's 2 or 3. I had one painting where I made it really long. And 4 people at once could paint it. And this thing, it's beautiful.
At one time?
Yeah, it's
that's
beautiful,
cool.
Right? And the reason that it's beautiful is because people have their little spot. So they're not messing on every other
And do you tell
places.
them, you point to it, you say, hey, here's a spot here.
No, I say what number. There's all little numbers on it. It's all, what I do is I make a painting and then I cover it with plastic. And then I bisect it into shapes that are roughly the size of your hand, and then that's going to break up the palette into some things. But if I cut the outside board into the space of a shape of a spaceship, and I paint a spaceship, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply on that masking layer. I'm going to outline the Space Invader. I'm going to outline a spaceship with a little beam coming out of it.
Okay.
I'm going to make certain aspects of it be very, very space related.
Gotcha.
Right? And then there's all the intervening space, and there's all the after those get done, because those always go first.
And how do you design are these all like hand drawn designs?
It's a mix. It'll go from I take a draft of whiskey and make all the lines at once. That was one of my first, like the 4th one.
Okay.
To projecting flight of the bumblebee, onto the board, and then tracing it out with my hand.
Okay.
To taking a light box and taking the image that I want, printing it out at the scale that I want,
Yeah.
and putting it over the now this new vinyl backed plastic cover. I used to use this crazy space tape that it could attract cat fur from the sun. Like it was like oh my god. But it was. But now I see you evolve. You always find new ways to do the things, right? And so now I can go back through that and really control shapes. I love to use French curves now. So I have little different things that I'll use as tools because I'm not an artist. Remember I told you I started at 47. I think I said that we went over this, right? But I am an artist. I truly am because
For sure.
because I developed a way to express the things at layers and like ogres are made. You know, there's
you weren't supposed to tell them.
I think that's how they're made. And so one of the things I do in my work, which you can find meta painting on Instagram and Facebook, it's really easy.
There you go.
And I have a metapainting.net. I own it, but I haven't put the site up yet. But I have my whole portfolio got shot like 2 weeks ago. So I realized it was like 35 of almost 40 paintings. So those are all going to be up there. And man,
let me tell you something. As you were saying that the process of like the flight of the bumblebees and like different ways to create lines, in art, it made me think. I have when there's times when I'm a little bit stuck in the songwriting phase, I will take a track and I will I'll take the speaker and then I'll face it down. And where it's kind of really muffled.
Hear it differently.
Yeah.
Perspective. You are a
dude,
perspective-taking dude.
And then there will be times where I'll take the whole track itself and I'll get the track outs and I'll have all the instruments and everything like that, and then just take out a few instruments and it'll just be 2 or 3 layers, and man, that will help me think of something totally different that wasn't in the beginning, that then once everything's there, you're like, how in the heck did that sound come up? And when it does, it's a beautiful thing. And I just recently did it with 1 or 2 tracks that there's that's a gem for songwriters out there, write in different with different circumstances, maybe play it in the car, but sit in the back seat instead, and listen to it differently. The coolest thing, when we were just at the festival, when you're 300 feet from where the main stage is, you just hear you just got, and man, that's when I do my best songwriting, is when I just have that. I just got that thing in the background, and then I can shine like a mofo right out front.
Yeah, that sounds great, because it sounds to me like you're there's enough of the human musical vibration, which we're electric beings, and we feel each other. We're like little radars, we project out from our eyes a little bit.
Sure.
I believe in I am a very extremely science-based guy, but I also believe in the electromorpho space, if you follow Michael Levin's work. And there's a lot of interesting things. There's also there's fascinating work that's going on the nature of consciousness, particularly put together by Roger Penrose and some anesthesiologists and great experimentalists in
Ahead
India.
of the game.
I'm not going to drop so many scientists' names because I just absolutely love this crazy stuff all the time. But
It's cool.
we were just talking about songwriting, and man, being under the gun. We were preparing, we were opening for ASA at 8x10. So we were practicing songs at my house because I made a couple bands that went just one time to 8x10.
That's
really fun.
That's a venue that's in Baltimore City, down in the city.
So we would always have at least 2 or 3 bands. We would present as 4 flights, but then we would have 2 bands within it. 2 to 5 bands.
A transformer of bands.
Yeah, it's a transformer of bands. The 4 flights up can go somewhere, and it's like a transformer of bands. We could turn into one big band at the end. I mean, seriously, that is
dude.
I mean, That's
You were
mind
talking
blowing.
about
That's
like
true.
an hour. You got an hour, and then you got four. I mean,
Plus, we had the head 5. We had a transformer.
dude, there you go.
That's so mind blowing. Thank you for making me believe that.
You should make
we
a
did
meta
it.
painting like
We
that.
did that,
Dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I will, and it's going to be all the bands. Well, I'll do another. Tell you what we'll do. I'll make a promise to my community right now.
Oh shoot! Okay, hey, take your pens down and take a note of this.
We're gonna get a community jam set up like we did in old school. There's gonna be a place to sign up to be kind of randomized or somewhat put together in a band. I think for this one, I would like people that aren't in bands or are in bands that are out playing infrequently.
Okay.
Because the whole point is to get more exposure. So I would love to see that template of dudes, maybe a guy that's in a really good band. You can have a ringer in there.
You got, you can
like throw yourself a ringer.
Yeah, that's gonna be the the inspiration. Cats are gonna be like, oh, there's.
For our closeout band at Woodland, we had Grube stacked in there because he's such a killer drummer, and I knew he tore it all that stuff. So it was like nice to have, like, we knew that they were solid in the pocket, and they had a couple great songs. Dude, it was so much fun.
That is good. That good
was
stuff.
So much fun.
That's the
so
meat
I'm
and
gonna bring that back.
Right, yes, please do, dude. Okay, hey, you put it out there. Now you got.
We're gonna get all we gotta get is we gotta get a festival to say we're gonna give you an hour and a half.
Dude, we should call it Manifestival.
You give me an hour and a half, and I'll give you musicians. Yeah, you know what? Let's make a Manifestival. All right, but I'm gonna
take a note. Somebody write that down. Somebody.
Manifestival. That's a great name. But it can't be all men. Anyway, because girls make the world go round. I have to tell you that I love every single woman on the world, all of them. My daughter taught me to be the best. She so transformed me, and then
tell
my
me
son,
about fatherhood a little
and my
bit.
son transformed me again. Like it was this, and it was kind of out of sync. I think the most important thing that fatherhood, that parenthood teaches you is utters. It's almost like when you trip balls, and you know you're part of.
Shout out to Faraji, balls out.
Balls. And you realize you're one with the universe, right? But when you have a child, their vibration, their pattern is a function of your pattern. And so they
get your pattern.
The most beautiful moment of my life was the moment that I held my daughter's little curvy pinky hand.
Right. Features that you didn't even know. I mean, you knew existed, but
and then my son go off a plane. I met him at the airport. Like, these kids, they changed my life. They made me a better man, and they continue to. They continue to. My boy My boy is called Sword Boy on Twitch. Shout out to Sword Boy on Twitch. Give him a follow and a like. You can get. I've been going to the thing. Right? It's so great, man.
That's awesome.
It's so great. But I'm good at holding on to a thread, and I'm gonna tell you a story about writing a song.
Yeah, please do.
Because we were going to talk about that.
Yeah, man, songwriting has been a very pivotal thing in my life recently, and has helped me shape all the things that are happening around me, luckily.
You know what? It digging in, you go in and in, you get better at everything.
Right.
It's not on and on. Don't go on and on ever. Going and in.
In and in. In and in. I like that.
So we're about done with the band practice at my place. Sarah Hughes had come by to blow a few times at my place.
Okay.
Four Flights was really hopping. This was before any
popping
of the,
off.
It was popping off. And she said, "Hey, I know these cats over in like 27th. I don't know. I didn't know. No, I can't remember where the exact. I know where the studio is. I can't remember the address." She said, "Can you come by and do a little spoken word? We're going to do a track, and I'd like you to come by and do some spoken word." I was like, "I know a bunch of different things. I could do spoken word." So I just finished singing all these songs for my band. So I decided to go over to this thing. I walk in the room. All right. No, earlier that day, she sends me on my phone.
Okay, wait. Cue the low like jazz music, and
All right,
like,
I'm gonna do this. All right. So
there's
Sarah
people,
Hughes.
there's
by the way,
conversations in the back, but what is
Sarah Hughes is a conservatory trained jazz cat. Okay, she's badass.
Yeah.
She's a badass musician, and she's not intimidating at all. Oh my god. But so she's palling around, hanging around, doing stuff at Four Flights. And she asked me to come over and do this. Earlier in the afternoon, she sends me this thing on the phone. It goes,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like listening to this. I'm
Did
like,
you have an instrument on your hand? Or
no, that was just the. And so there's these horns in the background, and I'm like, so I listened to it was like 3 notes that she gave me, 4 notes. I look at the relationship between the notes. I figure out what key the thing is going to be in.
Got to.
So I figure out
What was it?
key and mode or whatever. I can't fucking remember.
Okay.
You can listen to the song.
Okay.
We'll link it in the description or something. I don't know how you do that. Yeah, I'll definitely link it. So I walk into the room. It's 1937.
Oh,
There's
shoot.
there's 3 people in a horn section in a room. There's a drummer in the room behind a glass wall. There's a guy with an upright bass standing there, right? And there's a microphone. There's an old boxy cool microphone hanging in the room and open.
What?
And that's where I'm supposed to go.
Oh,
okay.
dude.
So there's no vocal booth. There's no nothing. There's no retakes.
This is straight up.
You ever watch Frank Sinatra do that in the 1930s? And you
Frankie
think,
just walk
and you
up
see
to
how
the-
much of a boss he is.
Baller.
He just goes in there and his
Frankie was
dulcimer
baller.
tones
Dude.
to the
Dude, like breath work. What was breath? What the breath
dude. He
work?
would just.
Make it look easy.
It was incredible.
Man, so
I
what
watched
did
those
you do?
things.
Did you hop?
Oh,
did you hop
dude.
up and grab the mic and just kind of
dude.
Did you get smooth?
No, so
with
here's
jazz on
what
it
what
real
happened.
quick?
Here's what happened was, and there's a guy in the recording booth, right? So, and Mike Cool's on the drums. Like everybody's there. There's a horn section, not just Sarah Hughes, but also like a couple of people, another cat I recognized. So, but it was like jazz cats. So I'm like,
Jazz
wow.
cats.
It's like a serious room full of jazz cats. And then, of course, what does she do? She says, oh, we're just finishing up this other thing. And then she hands me a piece of sheet music, because that's what jazz cats do.
Oh, dude, just here's some music, jazz cat.
Right? And,
you better be able to read this jazz cat.
Now, good thing I had done my thing already in the afternoon, because I used my ear to figure out what key it was in my
Training.
keyboard.
Yep.
I used my ear and my keyboard at my house to figure out what key it was. So I knew... And I could hear the note, because I know I have one note. I have relative pitch.
Good musicians are good at making stuff up too.
Yeah.
You know, like on the fly. like.
So I had 5 minutes to write the song in the hallway, and what it said on the top of the page, 3 words. Everything else was notes, which I'm not really reading too well. I can kind of see how it moves, and there's a lot of notes.
Yeah,
it's
all
these
the
chords.
direction.
These are like chords. Like it doesn't look like if it goes Mary had a little lamb, you can kind of follow that. But if
Yeah.
it's like a chord here and then wow, it's really
Yeah,
hard.
it can get confusing if it looks like a whole different language.
It's another language
if you're
because it
not,
totally
if
is.
you don't know how
It
to.
totally is. I mean, I can kind of do it, but it's just like it's
But
like
isn't it cool when
carving
like
rocks.
you don't understand it, but then like the song plays and you understand the song and that kind of like
and then you
lines
see it.
up,
Yeah,
you
then
know?
you can. Yeah, that's
It's like
great.
when you're watching, like on like YouTube and like the note like flashes or kind of like it gives you like when you're trying to learn how to play a song on the piano or something and you're using like YouTube, it kind of follows along.
You can
and-
definitely learn to read that way. I think eventually.
Oh, for sure.
For
Sure.
But then you'd have to
I
have
think
it.
you want to have a teacher though. Like if you want to learn an instrument, I think I think the best way is to find a teacher, a person who teaches it. But I also do feel like if you don't have the resources or the money, to be able to do that yet, you can go on YouTube and you can learn.
I built my trailer.
learn.
I built a 6x12 trailer in 11 weeks from a white box to 6 air conditioner, solar panels, sink, everything.
11
bed.
weeks?
In 11 weeks, I did day and night. I worked every day, and I worked 6 hours a night, like every night.
Man.
Alessandro will testify. freemindlabs.com.
Dude, you went gangster on him.
Dude, we tried so hard. We worked so hard together. What a great man, my friend
Does the
is.
thing still exist? Is it still
Yeah,
in the world?
that's my dope trailer. It's
Oh,
right.
that's
It's right.
my
It's,
dope. Hey,
yeah,
bang,
dude. I'm
bang.
going to bring it to the burn next week. That's why I'm bringing my paintings around in. You can't.
Dude, yes.
Come on. All right, so
shoot.
let me finish the story because we're trailing off.
Yeah.
So I'm in the hallway, and the only 3 words that are on the page, it says at a loss.
At a loss.
At a loss. Now, the recording that's going to be linked, I'm not going to sing it for you right now. I could sing it, of course, but I'm not going to sing it for you right now. But I'm going to spit you the lyrics now. This is where lyrics and poetry come together. So this, and I didn't have time to revise it. I didn't have time to update it. I had to write it in the hallway.
Give it to him. Give them to him from the heart.
These were the words, because this is what's recorded, and it was a 1-take recording. That is on the recording.
Sorry, one more time. It's
at a loss.
At a loss.
With the 3 words that were on the page.
Okay.
The standard lines, they fail me. The breeze you blow unveils me. How can I regard myself? Your treasure all around me. Envelop, surround me. Until I feel absurd. At a loss for words. The clear blue sky inside you leaks through your eyes. The clouds that never find you. The sun inside you rise. And the song inside I heard. At a loss for words. Hold on. Now he has a coda. I hold the faintest glimmering. All the picture of you shimmering light. The dream inside me simmering to be with you tonight, to be with you. And how can I regard myself? Your beauty all around. Envelop, surround me until I feel absurd. At a loss for words.
Man, take that in. You know what? That reminds me. There's a book here. I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna open up to a page here and just do a reading from a book called "The Voice of Knowledge" by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Right.
Have you ever heard of the Four Agreements?
Yes, I have.
So this is the gentleman who wrote that book, and I've been able to kind of just open to any page these days.
Find something cool, yeah, that's good.
Something cool.
I love this. You could probably sing lyric from that page.
Well, let's do it. Don't believe yourself, but learn to listen, because sometimes the voice of knowledge can have a brilliant idea, and if you agree with the idea, then take it. It could be a moment of inspiration that leads to a great opportunity in life. Respect your story. And learn to really listen. When you listen to your story, the communication with yourself will improve 100%. You will see your story with clarity. And if you don't like the story, you can change it.
That's right. You can reinvent yourself. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's perfectly timed.
Isn't it?
You can reinvent yourself anytime.
Anytime.
You don't get to, like, I haven't been a famous actor yet.
Not yet.
But what's stopping me? Just me trying it. I could not be it, but I could also try.
Yeah. Open up to a page and read.
Oh, let's try it. Let's see. I really do have to put my old man glasses on now.
Oh, sorry.
Because I'm over 40.
Young whippersnapper. Make sure you're speaking into the mic really.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta put the.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. One of the biggest assumptions we make is that the lies we believe in are the truth. For example, we believe that we know what we are. When we get angry, we say, "Oh, that's the way I am." When we get jealous, "Oh, that's the way I am." When we hate, "Oh, that's the way I am." But is it true? I'm not sure about that. I used to make the assumption that I was the one who was talking, that I was the one who said all those things that I didn't want to say. It was a big surprise when I discovered that it was not me. It was the way I learned to be. And I practiced and practiced and practiced until I mastered that performance. The voice says, that's the way I am. It's the voice of knowledge. It's the voice of the liar living in the tree of knowledge in your head. That's really interesting. The Toltecs consider it a mental disease that is highly contagious because it's transmitted from human to human through knowledge. The symptoms of the disease are fear, anger, hatred, sadness, jealousy, conflict, and separation between humans. Again, these lies are controlling the dream of our life. I think this is obvious.
Man, dude, there's a whole slew of different books from the Toltec wisdom, and it's very simple stuff that, man, it really helps me understand and navigate life, and it just helps me stay grounded when I know that someone else has been through, you know, a trial or a tribulation, you know, that we can share that, you know, that struggle itself.
Yeah.
But dude, I have something here. Wait a second. Cue the phone sound. Cue the phone sound. Yeah, who is this? Oh, this is the younger Scott Frias.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh. Oh, you know what? You called at a perfect time.
Oh, no.
I'm actually with your older self. Yes, your older self.
This kid.
Yeah, dude, and I want you to just listen to what he has to say. I promise it's worth it, and you do end up a pretty cool cat, just so you know. But yeah, take this in. Dude, somebody wants to.
You know, I don't want to tell you anything besides Bitcoin, Bitcoin. But I don't want to tell you anything besides that. All the pain from all these women, dude. It's a lot of it's your own fault, and the reason it's your own fault is because you have to not. It's not their responsibility to turn themselves into something. I mean, it's their responsibility to turn themselves into something. It's your responsibility to turn yourself into something. So don't try to make anybody else something. Just be your most beautiful self right away. Do your authentic, genuine self right away. The people that will come to you and be in your life will it will change the whole pattern of your life. But I don't want you to change the pattern of your life, because how did I end up to be this badass dude that I am right now? So, like, don't fuck up. That's all. Just let me see. There's the one time when you, like, get really close. Yeah, there's a couple times when you almost die, but well, I'm not gonna tell you about those either, because you got enough Spider-Man reflexes to get out of the way in time. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff. So man, just remember that all the women that you love, you will always love, because you can't destroy it. It only changes to a different form. That doesn't mean you long for them. That means you can respect them in a way that you can respect no one else. So that's what I got for you, kid. You got anything for me? Yeah, you're gonna go bald. You're gonna go fucking so bald. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna hand you back.
Yo, he burned you. No, he loves you though. He does. He really does. He said it, and I hope he shows it. You're too funny. You are too funny.
I was a little mean to him.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes that tough love, really gets to you.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Dude, I got one more segment, and then we'll talk final thoughts here. Okay,
Sure.
I like to kind of spring this one up on people.
That was fun, you bastard.
Got to.
I didn't realize he was
Come on,
going to
you
call.
bastard.
How do you think? I've been sending messages back to my. I get messages from my younger self, and I sent messages to my older self when I was younger.
Dude.
So I think that changed. I do believe in a quasi-linear time. In other words, there are aspects of universal time that maybe aspects of our experience can access. So there's certain things I believe about time that are a little weird. I'm the single thread, as we are all, right? This presence in knowing, but we're an amalgam of cells with this huge. I started a band with myself called God of Cells, and it was
God of Cells. I like
God of
that.
Cells. And it was
All made of
it was a
different-
circle with half of the top of it is a brain, and the other half is all organelles in a cell.
Organelles in a cell.
Organelles in a cell, and it says God of Cells. It looks really cool.
Love that.
All that is inside the word when I wrote it.
Oh, cool.
Right, and the point is that we are the God of our cells. If you think about our cells and all the trillions of bacteria
Yeah.
and billions of cells that you have,
That you are the
just
God
the
for.
billions of connections in your mind, and everything. You're the orchestrator. And in fact, they're all having their own little independent experience, right? But they're seeding. They're like, well, man, he's going to take care of us, bro. You
Yeah,
know, like the
right?
poor lung cells. Oh, my poor lung cells. Gruby's poor mouth cells sometimes at night. Like he's just like,
so
he's wearing them. He's wearing them off, you know?
Stupid.
You got to be careful all the time.
Yeah.
All the time that you're beating on your little body. You know, your little body knows.
Your little body knows.
And sometimes, like, your stomach can actually say, hey,
Hey, buddy.
buddy.
Buddy, listen, you need the-
I got a couple controls that you don't have.
Yeah.
What?
They say your stomach's your second brain.
Yeah, it's gonna tell you like you better calm down right now. I think I'm gonna stop. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So
All
I
right,
have
great.
I have a cool thing here. You ready? Well, it's funny. In the past podcast that we did with Michael Moore's team, we were talking about that the human experience and like all the billions of people that are on the earth, and like, you know, all having a different story, you know, and then each of those billion people like have a whole universe on them, you know, and then that's that many stories, you know, so it's crazy, isn't it? So here
It's
we
like
go.
a hive of memory that you. It's like it's like a gorgeous train, like a gorgeous train, like the bride of all brides, you know, and it floats.
Trucking.
No, and it floats little balls, and it just this endless train of experience that you sort of keep going through. It's like a river that comes off of you.
It's a hover train. Okay, you ready? So here's something called rapid fire. Okay, and I'm just gonna ask you,
Oh, shit.
you know, quick little questions. Like one of them.
Short
will be-
answers? Do they
Yep,
have a rules?
short
All right.
answers. We want to try and go
Yeah.
through a bunch here. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
So, all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Put the time on the board. No, there's no time, but we can have
If
fun.
we had a virtual clock.
Okay, virtual clock on. All right, you ready? If you could choose where to be born and live your whole life there, where would it be?
Just one spot.
One spot.
I'm trapped there.
Yep.
Wow, that's so hard.
Rapid fire.
All right, I would have to say put me in Italy.
Italy. There we go. Mountains or the
Mountain.
beach?
Beach.
There you go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Bastards. Pass.
Okay, pass. Favorite Outcast member?
Yeah.
Okay.
The singer, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Least favorite food?
Cilantro.
Oh, throw it out. All right, here we go. Scariest villain?
Oh shit. Clowns
Dun, dun, dun.
Clowns are so fucking
Oh, yeah,
scary.
dude, go with that.
No, but I'm gonna yeah.
Go with that,
Yeah, let's
dude.
just go
That
with
is
clowns.
scary.
Every clown.
Dude, Doritos or Pringles?
Pringles.
Worst pizza topping?
Oh god.
Ew.
I don't like hamburger on it.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on.
Take the hamburger
Take
off.
the hamburger off.
Throw the-
Pineapple.
hey, throw the
fine.
patty.
I'm not gonna get upset about the pineapple.
I know,
Some other
right? I'm
people
cool with
sit there.
pineapple. Everybody else is
Hamburger.
it's a muck about pineapple. All right, you ready? If you could spend 24 hours with any musician, who would it be? Alive or dead?
Oh my god.
Oh my, right? Yeah,
That's
get
an
in.
impossible question.
No, it's not. Come on, it's possible. Right now, make it possible. Come on, rapid fire. Dude.
Harry Nilsson.
Oh, there you go. Harry Nielsen, nice. Okay, what's one thing you've always wanted to do but haven't yet?
Jump out of a plane.
Oh, dude, let's do it. I want to do it. Again, I've done it. Let's do it. Okay. If you could pick any season all year round, what would it be? Summer, winter, spring, or fall?
Spring.
Oh,
April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs from the dead earth. Go ahead.
Ooh, there you go, Mr. Poet himself. East Coast or West Coast? See,
New York. Come on.
Yeah, come
East Coast.
on.
I'm from Massachusetts.
All right, you ready? Favorite subject in school?
Wow.
Like early school.
Oh, dude. I'm so conflicted because
on, get in
I
it.
loved English, but I was always
Yeah.
really great at it, right?
Or
but
what?
I
What were
but
your
I
other-
love physics.
Oh,
But
physics,
I'm terrible
dang.
at math.
Dude,
but
go
I
with
still
the
love
physics
physics.
because you're defying it, dude. I'm
I
telling
love
you.
it.
All right, you ready? Name
Yeah.
your favorite Pokemon.
I don't know any Pokemon.
Dude, you know one.
Charizard or something?
Charizard. There we go. Best one ever. All right, best duo.
Best duo.
It can be anything, music.
Oh, God.
It can be
There's
history,
so many-
historians. It can
There's
be
so many great
comedians.
duos. Two people that completed each other.
Yeah, or it could be like a couple. Like it could be like a couple goals.
I'm going with I'm not gonna go. I'd love me some Watson and Crick, right?
Oh.
But I don't think those cats were as cool as all that. But I love like deep effort and scientific discovery so much.
Okay, so who you got then?
All right. So the best duo of all time.
Yeah, come on.
The
Who gave
best
us that
duo-
science that we needed?
No. I'm gonna have to say that the best duo of all time is Willie Nelson and Julio Iglesias.
Oh, there you go. Drop it. You know what? I was dude, that's a good one. Dude, where you came from with that. I was thinking
Left field.
Dude, left field. I was thinking
To all
Pam
the
and
girls
Tommy
I've
Lee.
loved.
Dude, that is a duo for the ages. Okay?
I shit on that question. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
right.
My mind ran as yours was as well.
So funny.
All right, you ready? You walk into the casino right now. What's
Okay.
the first thing you're playing?
I'm gonna play blackjack.
Blackjack. Dang, nice. Okay, what's my spirit animal?
Your spirit animal is a puma.
Puma! I love that, dude. That is awesome. Shout out to my Pumas, baby.
Puma's out
Pumas
there.
out. Oh, my Pumas out there.
Puma cam. We're on the Puma cam.
Yo, Puma cam. Yes, dude. Throw them peas up, baby.
Oh yeah.
Puma cam. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Favorite member of the Beatles?
John Lennon.
Oh, John Lennon. Okay, what's one thing you can't live without? One thing can't live without.
Can't live without him.
Come
I
on,
have
right
to-
now,
I have-
today. What couldn't you?
I mean, if I ever lose my voice, if I ever lose my hearing,
Oh, that's good.
I loved it. Singing is the most joyous single act that I do. I mean, sex is better than singing. but
Ooh,
just
get dirty
barely,
on them real quick. Okay,
just
you ready?
barely.
What's one thing you can't love without?
Honesty.
Oh, there you go. All right. Favorite curse word that's not really a curse word?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, what do you got on that?
Um,
Dag nabbit. What do you got?
Shazbot.
Shazbot. Rock the Shazbot.
No, I have Pamela. I have two things. I'm going to add something on.
Add it.
You know how you
Rapid.
have.
You gotta
You know how you
talk-
have. It's going to
talk
keep it rapid.
times
It's
two,
rapid.
though.
You know how you have a thing where you say, "Oh man, boom, he nailed it."
Yeah.
Oh, he crushed it. Boo, it crashed or whatever. Booyah! They had the booyah.
Booyah!
I made Pamo, and it's a fail. It's a super hard fail. It's the worst. It's the worst one.
I think it's just the way you said it.
it's
That's
just
all.
terrible. No matter.
Okay.
No, there's no fixing that.
Yeah, you're right.
Still fixing
All
it.
right. Favorite color?
Green.
Green. There you go. Okay. Planes, trains, or automobiles, my friend?
Oh, automobiles.
If you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It certainly wouldn't be Inagata Davida because it's really long. But let me see.
What would it be?
Oh my God.
What's that one song that that just won't get old? That doesn't get old. No matter what.
I would say Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C sharp minor.
There you go, man. My man with the with the deepness. Okay, you ready? Last movie you cried to?
Fucking all of them.
What
Did I
was it?
cry?
Come on, what
Did
was
I
it,
cry
dude?
at a fucking
Come on. Put it
Transformers
out there.
movie?
Yes, keep it at that. Keep it at that. All right, you ready? Favorite kind of flower?
The night blooming cereus, the queen of the night. I had one bloom last week. I just had this plant for a year. My mom took 6 years to grow them. They're unbelievable. The smell is
I smell it right now. It's in my
intoxicating.
nostrils.
It only opens for one night.
Nuh-uh. A
Truth.
year?
That's it.
What?
I had 2 of them open at the same time on one night. That's it.
Dude, that's God talking. All right, daytime or nighttime?
Night times are my time.
All right, any superpower, what would it be?
Change, manipulate time. No one can touch me then.
Okay, here's the last one. Coconut or pineapple?
Coconut.
Oh,
I have to because coconut oil is good for you.
right.
So.
Okay, man, let me tell you, dude, you have been a pleasure having here. And let's see here. Is there anything that you would like to kind of close out on, you know, with the Respecting Perspectives crew, you know, listening? And,
Yeah.
and what would you like to farewell the people with?
You did such a great job of, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on too. You did such a great job of invoking genuine responses from me and great thought-provoking questions and stuff. So I thank you for giving me a lot of the freedom to go through stuff as well. So mad respect to you.
Thanks.
The thing I said about limiting beliefs is really what you need to remember, and that possibility isn't discovered by thinking about things. Do stuff. Get up. Try it. I'm tired. It's raining. No, doesn't matter. Like David Goggins, like even though he's insane, he's also brilliant in this one way. He just does not know how to give up. His give up is broken. And that is the greatest skill.
Yeah.
Persistence. The 4 flights up, we had 250 events. It was every Sunday, sometimes twice a week. When I start this next thing, it's going to be consistent. Matt's having this thing every month.
Once
right?
a month. For now.
When you know what I know about a metronome? I know how to
Tell me
sing
about
to it, baby.
Oh, there you go.
So
Sing
if you be consistent, don't mug yourself.
Right? Don't stop your own metronome. Keep it going. And in fact, maybe turn it up a notch, you know? Give it a little push, right? Every now and then you got to kind of give yourself a little bit of a push, you know, and gain momentum somehow.
Yeah, and go in and in. Not on and on.
In and in, not on and on. Take that in for sure. Man, dude, I really appreciate you for being here, and I know the people who are watching are appreciative of the conversations that we're able to have.
Yeah.
And man, I look forward to seeing you at some of the events that are coming up. Is there any maybe information like Instagram or like Facebook?
You can find me at Metapainting on Instagram.
METAPAINTING.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, Facebook didn't fight me or take me down or anything when they claimed the name Meta because I had been using it before they were using it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I kind of was good on that.
Slept under the rug.
I slipped under the rug. Yeah, they did buy metapainting.com though. Facebook bought it. But I got the .net. Well, I got the .net, but they didn't want me to have a commercial site or something. Because it seemed like it was just an organization. I don't know that lawyers bought it. So metapainting.net, but it's not up yet. So it's not going to be up until probably Halloween.
Okay.
But I'll have it'll be glorious when it is.
If you need some help and some let's see here, I had 1 or 2 of the guys who helped me with my website on the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you need some help or just
connect us. Yeah, maybe we'll talk to somebody. Yeah, it sounds good.
Sure.
I have I know a few wizards, and
I'm sure you do.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to publish the entire site from my GitHub and run and do the entire thing myself.
Okay.
'Cause I'm a little bit of I'm a guy who built the trailer from nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
sounds like it.
what and this is what I'm going to leave you with, right?
Yeah, leave them with that jam.
This is what I'm going to leave you with, and I'm going to look right at you in the camera for the first time. I'm going to look right in your eyes, and I'm going to tell you this: the one who stops you every time is you. the one who can save you and move you to any height that you want to, is also you. If you feel like I'm disorganized, I'm ADHD, I get drifted and lost off in a thing. But if I put something in my world, in my space, that reminds me to do these important things, and I get them done, and then they slowly and steadily turn into gold. Turn into gold. That's what I got.
Into gold, baby. Hey, thank y'all for joining us. And we will see you on the flip side of Respecting Perspectives, the podcast, baby.